Are you thinking about a backdoor Roth IRA? Here's a couple things to keep in mind before you do. So the Roth IRA has been around now for a little over 25 years. It was introduced by Congress in 1997, and it's really been one of the best savings vehicles for retirement savers really ever created. So the general concepts are pretty simple. You can make after-tax contributions up to your earned income or whatever the limit is for that given year. And those after-tax contributions will grow tax deferred until you reach retirement age, which is generally 59 and a half. And then at that point, you can take your Roth IRA dollars out of the account completely tax free. So that's a beautiful thing. Took me a minute to get there, but the punchline is all those assets get to come back to you tax free, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. On the flip side, the traditional IRA, which many folks are used to and have either through savings or through a 401k rollover, those dollars, assuming they were accumulated with pre-tax contributions, are all going to come out as ordinary income. And if it's been a while since you checked ordinary income tax rates, they are the least preferential tax rates for Americans. In some cases, you might pay as much as 37% based on 2023 tax brackets on those ordinary income dollars. So tax-free is a much better option. The backdoor Roth IRA is basically a strategy for folks who make too much money. Now, the Roth IRA is such a good tool that Congress put thresholds in place saying if you earn above these amounts, you don't qualify. You will not get to contribute directly to a Roth. Now, a little over a decade ago, the idea of a Roth conversion was introduced, whereby you could take traditional IRA dollars and convert them into Roth IRA dollars. And the only caveat there is that you must pay tax on those pre-tax dollars and the accumulated dollars, the growth, upon that conversion. So if you had a $100,000 IRA, 50,000 of it was your basis, and you had $50,000 in growth, you would have to pay ordinary income tax on the $50,000 that you're converting. If all of the account was made with pre-tax dollars in growth, then you pay ordinary income on the entire 100,000. So the conversion, though, that simple concept created the opportunity for a backdoor Roth IRA. The backdoor Roth IRA is really a pretty simple strategy. It only involves generally four steps. And step one is going to be open that traditional IRA. Step two is fund it with after-tax dollars in a non-deductible contribution. Step three, open your Roth IRA. And then finally, step four, convert those traditional IRA assets to your newly created Roth IRA. Since you just opened that account with new assets, there's likely been very little growth. So you're going to owe next to no tax on those converted dollars. And as an example, January 1, I contribute $6,500 to my new traditional IRA. 6 months later, I convert it to a Roth IRA. If the account has basically not grown, I convert those $6,500. Since it's all after tax, non-deductible contribution, I basically get to do it tax-free. Now then it's in a Roth IRA, those dollars will grow tax-free until I decide to withdraw. Huge benefit for people that make a lot of money. So what do people need to consider before they go ahead and use this backdoor Roth strategy? I'll point out a couple of different considerations. The first is going to be, I think, probably the most important. If you already have a lot of IRA assets or you are in a situation where you really want to avoid any unintended tax consequences, consult a professional. Okay. I think that's going to be the most important piece here. If you're unsure of what you're doing, you want to make sure that you cross all your T's and dot your I's. But one of the most important considerations that I think you should make is looking at your existing IRA assets. If you already have a traditional IRA, it complicates the backdoor strategy. Why? The government looks at all your traditional IRA assets as one big group. Even if you have one IRA here, one IRA here, you might have 10 of them scattered around with $1 million across 10 different accounts. It doesn't matter. The government is going to look at that as one big IRA with $1 million in assets. Why does that matter? So let's use this example to simplify things. Let's imagine we just have two traditional IRAs. One is from an employer-sponsored retirement plan. In our case, we're going to assume it was a 401k. I worked there for 5 years. I contributed. It's worth $100,000 now. I leave my job and I roll it into a traditional IRA. So all that pre-tax money, all the accumulation is now sitting in a rollover IRA. Pardon me. So that is the first account that we have. The second account I create at the beginning of this year. And I open this traditional IRA with the intention of converting it into a Roth and using the Backdoor Roth IRA strategy. So I fund it with $6,500 in after-tax money and a non-deductible contribution. And then 6 months go by and I convert this IRA into a new Roth IRA, and I think I've executed perfectly. The government's going to say not so fast. You didn't convert a $6,500 IRA with all after-tax money. You converted $6,500 of your $106,500 IRA into a Roth IRA. So they're going to look at that in terms of pro rata. Basically, what percentage of those converted dollars are going to be considered pre-tax money? And so when you look at the entire account, that $106,500, $100,000 was pre-tax accumulation and contributions. So that comes out to about 93%, and actually about 94%. And the $6,500 is about the remaining 6%. So 6% of that conversion is going to be tax-free, and the other 94% is going to come out as ordinary income. So you've basically just created $6,100 in ordinary income, and in return, you are going to receive an unexpected bill next April at tax time to pay ordinary income on those converted dollars. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's the first thing I think you should consider before executing a backdoor Roth. Do you already have existing IRA assets out there? If you do, think twice and get help. The second piece that I think you should want to consider is when you're going to need these dollars. Keep in mind, this is still an IRA. That stands for Individual Retirement Account. These are intended to be retirement dollars. So if you think you will need these monies before you reach age 59 and a half, maybe you should consider something like an old-fashioned brokerage account. I think these types of accounts are largely overlooked, and one of the more underappreciated tools that investors have available to them. They offer tons of flexibility and optionality. Lots of different investment types can go in there. And in 2023, we now have some pretty cool ways to invest in a very tax efficient manner for the long run. So even if you are a high income earner, there's ways to invest either with ETFs or perhaps with custom or personalized indexes that are going to allow you to participate with the market and control your tax bill, or at least pay taxes more on your terms when you sell. So don't overlook that taxable brokerage account. I think that can be a really effective tool. Now, if those assets, if you're comfortable putting those away until you reach the age of 60 and a half or 60 years old, 59 and a half, then the backdoor Roth strategy could make a lot of sense for you. So to summarize here, I think it's an exceptional tool. Roth IRA monies it's a great way for folks to save for retirement. Even high income earners, those folks that may think they earn too much money to contribute to a Roth IRA, the backdoor Roth could be a solution or an alternate way to fund a Roth IRA that's completely legal above board. And, as we know, the ability to grow tax-free money for the long term very rarely is a bad idea. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks.